Hi, my name is Mark Abadi. This is Mark's Moments on what the quantum world has to say about God, and can you prove God with science? There's a lot of physicists, and a lot of quantum physicists now, Amit Goswami is one of them, who likes to talk about physics as proving God, and the God code, and the God equation, the unified theory explains God. Even if you have a unified theory of the entire universe, still can't explain God. God, being the one thing everywhere, without limits, without edges, has no surface upon which to make a reflection. God is both the yin and the yang. God is both the left and the right, the up and the down, the hot and the cold. God is there and not there simultaneously. And that is something that is outside the duality of the mind. Now, quantum physics indicates that this duality of the mind, and in fact the mind itself, directs attention to certain aspects and makes reality behave in a certain way. Great, totally agreed. And if you have a different mind looking at it, it behaves differently. Fine. And if there's no mind looking at it, it behaves differently again. Perfect, great. But that still doesn't enable you to move beyond using the mind to get it. And no matter what measure you do, no matter what awareness you put into it, you're still using the brain, the duality, to explore one thing. And as a wise man says, how do you take something that is somewhere and make it everywhere? Because there's an edge somewhere. In the somewhere, there's an edge. I only know I'm Mark because I'm not the computer. I only know I'm Mark because I'm not the car outside. So I know myself by definition to other things. If there's no longer a definition, if I'm the one thing everywhere, then there's no measure of it. How can I express it? How can I see it? You can't. And so even though quantum physics looks at and explores the ideas of non-duality, it can't ever be got. It can't ever be found. You could get right to the edge, oh yeah, you get right to the edge of the cliff, but you just can't leap, you just can't. It's because you realise there's no cliff there. And by the time you get to the edge of the cliff, and you've worked all this hard to get to the edge of the cliff, and you go, right, I'm going to jump, you realise there's no cliff. Not only that, you realise there's no you either. And if there's no you, no cliff, no longer is there a point, and no longer is there a person to do the observation of the answer you seek. Get it? It's like the holodeck in Star Trek. If you've ever watched the holodeck in Next Generation Star Trek, they're these holograms that are created by active photons, and they're like real people. But they only exist inside this holodeck, inside this area where the photons are pulsed. As soon as they walk off the deck, they disappear, because they can't exist without the structure. Just like you and your personality and all your questions, they can't exist without you as a structure. And that's why enlightenment can never happen to you. You can get it, but not you, not your personality. The thing behind you can realise itself. Look at my talks on enlightenment for that. But apart from that, science definitely can't get God. It can get you right to the edge. So can a lot of things. Thanks for listening.